Spirit knows what you need to hear, and they just basically they tailor the actual meditation to benefit everybody here tonight. So it's a lot of fun. You don't have to have experience. There are a few things we're going to do though. What we're going to do protection. I do work a lot with Archangel Michael. So if anybody here is a little bit worried about, oh, you know, if I go to meditation, something's going to happen, it's not. He collectively protects all of us. Okay, that's kind of a deal we have with him. So with that said, you might find that you start feeling warm because he has, for me at least, a very hot, warm, fiery type of energy. So if you find that in the meditation, you start sweating, just know he's around and he's protecting us, and that just may be a symptom you feel during it. So we're going to do our protections. We're going to ground to Mother Earth and to above. And at one point, I'm going to ask you to do what I call the squeeze. So when I ask you to do the squeeze, what the squeeze is basically you tighten all the muscles in your body. So you just literally squeeze as tight as you can. I count you through to that, and then I ask you to release. So when you do that, it's a strong exhale out. You're going to let go of all that stuff that's, you know, floating around in your brains when you do that. And we're going to do 3 repetitions. I don't care if you lie down, you sit down. Well, you can't really stand on your head, but maybe you could. As long as you don't have any body parts crossed, that's all I ask, because that does impede the flow of your energy. So no body parts crossed for that. And again, you don't have to have any experience. Some people aren't terribly visual. Don't worry about that. Just listen to the words, even if you can't visualize everything I asked you to. That's okay. You will get what you need out of the meditation, even if you're not a visual person. And just have fun with it and explore, and who knows where we're going to go. Okay, so without further ado, let's start the meditation. So comfortable position. Doesn't matter to me. You can turn your screens off if you like. Doesn't matter to me. I'm only going to be the one that's looking at you. If you do fall asleep, Iraqi, we love Iraqi. If you happen to fall asleep, you will still subconsciously get benefit from the meditation. You just won't have the awareness of what the experience was. So don't worry about it if you do fall asleep. So comfortable positions, no body parts crossed, and let's close our eyes. So everybody, let's start. I'm going to ask you to take in some deep breaths. Now, these breaths are going to be breaths, if you can visualize taking them from underneath your belly button. So they're really strong breaths in. And then when you breathe out, you're going to breathe out with the intent of letting go worries, concerns, any of those things that might be stressing you out. Continue taking some deep breaths in. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is when I count to 3, we're going to do the first repetition of the squeeze. So again, that is taking a very strong breath in, holding it and squeezing every muscle in your body that you can as tightly as you can without hurting yourself. So on the next deep breath in, everybody, let's take that deep breath in, let's hold it, and let's start doing the squeeze. So everybody squeeze, 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 hold it, hold it, hold it, squeeze, squeeze. I want to see crinkle faces. Come on, squeeze, 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 squeeze. Let it go. Normal breath in. Normal breath out. Normal breath in. Normal breath out. On this next deep breath in, we're going to do the second rotation of the squeeze. So when you're ready, everybody take that deep breath in. Let's hold it and let's really do the squeeze. Make this one stronger than the last. Hold it, squeeze, tight, tight, tight. Crinkle faces. Come on, I want to see them. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Let it go. Normal breath in. Normal breath out. Normal breath in. Normal breath out. On this next deep breath in, we're going to do our final rotation of the squeeze and make this one count. This will really help relax you. So when you're ready, take that deep breath in, hold it, and squeeze. I want to see pink faces. Squeeze, 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 tight, tight, tight. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Let go. I don't do it, but I always feel good after I feel everybody else's. Now, continue taking deep, comforting breaths in, normal breathing, and we're going to start a protection. So I want you to visualize that there's a white, iridescent, soapy sort of colored bubble beginning to float down and surround you. And as it does, it lifts you off the ground and you sit down in the bottom of it. You're hovering about a foot off the ground, sitting in the center of this iridescent bubble. And as you sit there floating in the bubble, it begins to fill with white light. Very light, misty sort of white energy that sparkles. Begins to fill the bubble. And you begin to breathe that beautiful light energy into your body, where it proceeds to help relax you and calm you as it goes throughout your whole body. This white light continues filling the bubble, and you continue breathing it in, and with each breath you become more relaxed, more comfortable, less worried about your life in the day-to-day. Continue breathing it in, breathing that calming energy in. Now we're going to bring down what I call the mirror bubble. And just as it sounds, this is a bubble made of mirrors. Now the reflective side of the mirrors face away from you. So this bubble floats down and settles, encompassing the bubbles that you're already sitting in. It's a seamless bubble. And this bubble also begins to fill with white light. And the reason the mirrors are on the outside, in case you're wondering, is that if any energies that come towards you that you don't want to have in your presence, they're simply reflected away and they don't bother you. So this bubble continues to breathe, to fill with the white light, which you're breathing into your body, relaxing even more. And with each breath out, you again are purging away a busy mind, thoughts of the day or week, any worries or concerns with these breaths outwards. Continues filling with the white light. And as it continues filling with the white light, you begin to notice from the bottom of the bubble, some white roots begin growing downwards from the bottom of the bubble. They grow downwards, downwards, till they're touching the top of the earth, a foot below, gently dancing around the top, and then they begin penetrating the top of the earth and their downward growth into the earth. As the roots grow downward towards the Mother Earth's core, you notice that they begin to draw up white energy from the earth, which also begins to flow into the bubble. Breathe this very strong foundational grounding energy in. And as these roots continue their downward descent, you notice a few starting to grow up into the bubble, over your lap as you sit in the bottom of the bubble. These are kind of like Mother Earth just putting a warm blanket around you, embracing you, holding you close and secure. It's a bear hug from Mother Earth. And this energy, it gives you confidence and it empowers you to tackle anything. So as these roots grow up over your lap and your bubble continues to fill with this white light, those roots are growing downwards, 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 towards Mother Earth's heart, pulling that energy up, allowing you to feel more relaxed with each breath in. And before long, The roots connect with the heart of Mother Earth, and in a blinding flash of light, the energy from the Earth's center, the heart of Mother Earth, flows rapidly up into your bubble, embracing you, supporting you, allowing those worries to melt away. Breathe that in. Breathe that freedom in. So now we're going to bring down what I call our divine bubble. This is the last bubble, and this is the bubble from the source of all that is. So visualize an even larger white bubble floating down once again from above, encapsulating the two bubbles that you're currently sitting in. And as that happens, this bubble also fills with white light. But that, as I mentioned, is from the source of all that is, the Creator. This is very spiritual and enlightening energy. And it makes you feel content, happy, uplifted, and peaceful. This energy, it gives you the sense of coming home, of being loved, and completely accepted for being the unique person that you are. With each breath in of this very beautiful spiritual energy, you become more relaxed, less worried about your life, and you become more focused on my voice. So for tonight's meditation, we're going to ask the helping spirits to open your third eye chakra. You do not have to know how to do this. In your mind, I want you to think and ask your helping spirits to open your third eye chakra to the perfect level for tonight's meditation. Again, you don't have to know who they are or how to do it. Just give them permission and ask them to help. Now, if at any time you notice that there's any tension, tightness, or discomfort in your center of your forehead area, which is where the third eye is located, send a thought to your helping spirits and saying that there's some discomfort, and they'll tweak it to the perfect level. Okay, so we're now going to begin the actual meditation portion. Again, just have fun. If you get ahead of me, that's okay. If you fall behind, that's okay. There's no perfect way to do it. It's just your way to do it. So let's begin. So as you are focused sitting in the bubbles that you're floating a foot off the ground, you're just sort of looking outside. You notice that it's a little breezy out. How do you know? Because the trees outside of the bubble, which are turning those beautiful shades of red and orange and yellow, some of them are pulling away from the tree, falling gently, the leaves falling gently in the wind, floating down in the wind away from you, landing on the ground and rolling. And you watch as these colors dance on the ground, intermixing like a kittens playing together. They roll around. And you notice something interesting begin to happen. Suddenly there's more leaves, quite a lot more leaves. And they seem to be kind of doing a swirl around the underside of the bubbles that you're sitting in. Almost like a whirlpool, but in this case, the leaves are swirling, pushing the bubble upwards. So it forms a whirlpool, cradling the bubbles and pushing them upwards as the wind continues to pull those leaves underneath. Up you go, you're raised up, 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 up. You're perfectly safe. No worries of falling. And you continue raising up these leaves, bustling around underneath you. And you're literally as high as the trees are now, able to see out all before you. It's a slightly sunny day, a few clouds, a little cool, but comfortably cool. And you're looking out at all the beautiful trees and colors off in the distance. It's a really nice place to be. And as you're admiring these beautiful colors of the trees in the distance, you don't notice that your bubble sort of melts away and you're just sitting on this whirlpool of leaves. Very soft, very safe, and very comfortable. And it's not moving up any further. But what's unique is you're getting an elevated perspective of all the things below, things you might not have even looked at before. You are suddenly noticing in the vibrant colors that they are, and they present themselves. And you notice in amongst the leaves, some monarch butterflies scooting around. Now, a monarch butterfly, for those who may not know, they're a very vibrant orange with black and white colors on them as well. It's a Canadian butterfly. So these butterflies begin floating in and around, playfully dancing amongst the leaves underneath you, which are in this very comfortable whirlpool position, holding you up. And one of them flies up. This is a risk taker. This one flies up from the pile and lands square on your right shoulder. And you kind of tilt your head looking at this butterfly. Don't swat it away. It's a friend. So you're looking at this butterfly on your shoulder, kind of going, okay, what am I supposed to do with this butterfly? And you hear nothing. Oh, butterflies can talk. Well, that's a first, but I think it's going to get more unique. So you noticed as you're looking at this butterfly, all of a sudden, all the butterflies in the leaves are coming up towards you. And they start flying underneath your arms. And you extend your arms out because there's hundreds of butterflies. And they're kind of swirling around your arms. And they become a set of wings that you can now fly. They become one solid form of wings. Well, I don't know about you, I've never flown before, but let's test this out. So you stand up on the soft pile of leaves with your new butterfly wings and you extend them out. And you hear, go for it. And you go for what? Jump. I don't know if I want to jump off of this thing. This is like I'm up, 30 feet in the air. I don't know about that. Come on, you can do it, you hear. You can do it. You only have fear. You can move past that. And you're still not convinced that you want to jump off this big, soft cushion of leaves. It's a safety. It's, I don't know. Come on, you can do it. You hear again. Come on, come on, come on. Well, you think, okay, well, let me just look down. Let's see what's involved. So you kind of step on the leaves. You peer down gently over the side, 30 feet down. And before you know it, you get kicked in the butt and you're flying off the pile of leaves. And guess what? You're flying. You didn't fall. All that fear, all that self-doubt in yourself was holding you back. But when you give it, when you allow yourself to try, even if it's scary, you will usually succeed, as evident. You're now flying. That's how life works. And you hear this in your mind. And it makes sense that you yourself are the one that holds you back. So as you're suspended in air, perfectly safe, you notice a firefly come whizzing beside you. And you hear, well, it's actually not a firefly. When you look closer, it looks like Tinkerbell. Well, you hear her giggle. She, call me Tinkerbell, that's okay. She's just a fairy, but you can call her Tinkerbell. And she said, follow me, come on, let's go. Well, you're already flying, so why not? So you do. The two of you go buzzing off while she's buzzing. You're flying effortlessly up, 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 up towards the puffy cloud that's just above you. And you're looking down, and you know you're safe. You won't fall. And it's very freeing being in your own power, doing what you want to do. And you continue flying up. And now you fly through the cloud that was above you. And as you fly through it, it becomes more solid afterwards. And Tinkerbell stops and lands right on it and starts doing a little dance, a happy dance, kicking her feet up, twirling around. And she invites you to play with her. Come on, put that adultness away. Be that child again. Let's play. And you're still kind of committed to being an adult. So she goes, okay, just a second. She disappears and she comes up, and all of a sudden you see this massive, massive bushel barrel of those leaves that were floating around. And she says, okay. And she throws them onto the cloud. And it seems non-endless. This thing just starts, the cloud covered with leaves. That triggers something. That triggers a childhood memory of rolling in the leaves, kicking them, perhaps, hiding in them. You can't resist. You start kicking them. And as you do, that waft of that fall smell, the leaves, the earthiness wafts through your nose, bringing you way back to childhood, to simpler times. And you're busy kicking them, and you look up, and she's sort of flying, hovering at about eye level. And she magically manifests a snowball of leaves, and she whips it at you. Smack right in the head. The leaves fall and scatter down back to the clouds. And you have to laugh at that because, well, you've got bigger hands. So you reach down into these pile of soft leaves. Game on. And she goes, I was hoping you were going to say that. So you grab an armful of these leaves and you just start hurling them at her. And she's laughing and trying to evade them, and they're smacking her around, and you just lose yourself in the laughter and in her laughter. And she throws more at you, and you throw more at her, and there's leaves everywhere. You can't see anything because there's leaves flying all around you. But it's fun. And you've laughed so hard you decide to sit down because, oh my goodness, your belly hurts. And she's still laughing and giggling. And you're trying not to go because your belly hurts. But you're sitting in the leaves. And you lay down on the cloud covered with leaves. And you may begin to make what would be a snow angel, but in this case, it's a leaf angel. Spreading your legs open and your arms open and closed like a jumping jack on the ground. Enjoying the softness of the leaves and the simplicity of the time, of the moment. And she lands right on your belly and sits down and gives you biggest smile, all teeth. And she says, that was a lot of fun. You're fun when you're not so serious. And you agree. I am a lot more fun when I'm not so serious. And she says, let's work on doing that more often, being less serious and having more fun. And you're going, only if I get to throw the leaves first. And she goes, that's good. And she hands you another pile to throw, but you're too tired now. And she looks at you and you start feeling this loving energy coming from her, this accepting energy. And you start sending it back towards her because it just feels like the right thing to do. So I'm going to leave you here for a few minutes to talk with your Tinkerbell. You can ask her anything. Or maybe things going on in your life, or you hope to have things, or just sit with her and chat about nothing. Whatever you choose to do is okay. Even if you just want to sit and smile. So I'm going to leave you for a few minutes to enjoy her company and to converse with her. And as you're sitting there with Tinkerbell, she says this to you as she hands you a pen and paper. She says, well, today was about letting go of your fear and taking a chance and standing in your power. So take this pen and paper and write down at least one thing that you're afraid of, that you're willing to work on releasing. One thing. If you have more, that's awesome. So take that pen and paper and write what that one thing or multiple things might be that you're willing to work towards releasing. It doesn't mean you're going to release it all tonight, but you're going to commit to working towards it. And as you're contemplating what that is, you don't have to revisit any pain or emotional upsets that might be associated with it. Just write down what that fear that you're willing to work towards releasing is without feeling the emotional components. You can write as much on it or as little as you want. And with each letter that you write on that piece of paper, you feel a little lighter as you're committing to working on releasing this. Each letter reaffirms that commitment, intensifying the power of that commitment. And she extends her hand, asking for the paper, and you hand it back to her. And she folds it up nice and neatly into a paper airplane. She gives it back to you, and she flies standing upwards and encourages you to stand up once again, holding the plane that you've written what you're willing to commit to releasing. And you do, you stand up beside her with this paper shaped like an airplane. And she says, let it go. Let it fly. And you do. You let that puppy fly in the air and the wind catches it. And it flies up, up, up. And you notice that as it flies up, a white pillar of light shines down, catching it, and it disappears. It's been collected by your helping spirits, and it's been taken to be worked on. And she looks at you clapping her hands, and she's so happy you did it. And she goes, I got one other thing I want to do. And before you know it, the cloud's gone, the leaves gone, your wings are gone, and you're falling towards the earth, but you feel safe. You're like, okay. And as you're free falling, the leaf pile that was holding your leaves up is coming up, and you land in the center of the soft, massive leaves where you started. Your bubbles of protection once again encapsulate you inside them. And she flies into your bubble, and she grabs your chin gently, and she plants the biggest kiss on your cheek that she can, holding it. And she looks at you with such love. And then she giggles and disappears. So I want everybody focusing on my voice. We're going to begin to come back to the room. And to do that, you notice the leaf pile begins to blow away And your bubbles begin descending back down towards the earth gently and safely. Gently coming down, and as it comes down from the sky, you become more aware of yourself, of your body. And before long, you're hovering that 1 foot off the ground. Take a couple of deep breaths in of this white light that's filled your bubble. Taking that calming strength and peaceful energy with you through the remainder of the week. And maybe start shifting your body a little bit. When you get to the point you want to move your head, please do that very slowly. No sharp movements. Just gently move and shift around in your body. Wiggle those toes, the shoulders. And when you're ready, open your eyes.